All right, so here I just open the project and the corresponding page. I just log in with Alice account, right? And the first thing we're going to change is this website's button, right? So right now, if you click it, it's go to the /user/UID website. But this UID is a placeholder. It should be showing the real ID of the current user, right? So UID here needs to be changed to the real ID. So we're going to go to the profile component, user profile, right? So user profile components. Let me increase the font size.
All I have to do is npm start, right?
Yeah, npm start to start it. All right, so we're looking for that button. The button for the websites. It's right here, link websites. All right, so it goes to /user/UID/website. We're going to replace this placeholder as UID into a real user's ID, the current user's ID. For example, when user is Alice, the UID should be 123. Right, the UID should be 123. And we can grab the ID from the params. We have a constant params. Right, we have the params. So we go into rewrite this /user/UID/website into a backtick string and put the variable inside it. Right. So to use a backtick string, we just change the string into backticks. And because that backtick string is only available in JavaScript, we need to put a curly brace here to tell the React this part is a JavaScript. Right. And inside the string, we need to use a variable, so we're using a $, curly brace, that is a variable, which is a params. The UID. Did I type it wrong? Params. The UID. Yeah, looks correct. Let me see. Params the UID. Yeah, looks correct. Oh yeah, it works. So when I click website, see here it says /user123/website. I make sure it's done to say /user/UID website. It should be /user/123 website. It's the current user's website. Current user's ID should be input inside the URL path here. Right. That's what we're doing right now. And that's the only thing left in the profile.js. Right, let's go to the website list. Right, it's the current page. This is the website list page. Right. So in our website list, we also have a few things to do. We need to grab the params, and we need to know like which user it is, which is 123 here. And there are a few buttons that need to be fixed. The left button, right, it should go to /user/123. If I click it right now, it still go to UID. And same thing for this user icon. It should go to the current user's path. Right, the user's icon here, and the left button here. When I click them, it shouldn't see one UID. It should see the 123 because that's we are logging as Alice. All right. So let's firstly grab the UID from the params. So let me see how did we do it. We did the same thing in the profile. So we're just gonna take a look of that. All right. So to get the params, we need to import the use params. Import the use params. Right, so let's open the page. Import. This is website list. Import the use params. That is a function inside this library, so we can use it. And inside here we can see constant params is equal to use params, right? Use params. That's same code as in the profile. All right. And now we can looking for where did we use UID, and we are able to fix them. So the first one definitely is this left icon, which is here, this link. Right, it's right in the return first link. It's the left chevron left, right, this one. So right now it says to/user/UID. We are going to change it again into the backticks. And because we're using the backticks, we need to add in curly brace because that's only available in JavaScript. And the UID here going to be replaced as a parameter, params.uid. Right? So we're trying to grab the UID from the URL path. So it's params.uid. So now if I click the backticks button, this back button, it brings me to the Alice profile. Right, it's bringing me to the Alice profile. See that? And the same thing. At the bottom of this file, we have a user icon, which is doing the exactly same thing. Go to the profile. So we're going to also fix that. Right, so let's go to the bottom of this file. Here is a user icon. It does exactly the same thing. So we're going to change this one into a curly brace and with backticks. And the UID here, going to change it to a variable, which is params.uid. Here we go. So the user icon should also works right now. Right, so this button, two buttons are working correctly.
With UID needs to be changed?
Yeah, UID, all the IDs, all these placeholders will be changed finally. Right, so right now we just change it to icon, and okay. So next thing we want to do is to using the correct information, the correct website list to showing here. So right now this website list is a Facebook app, Blogger. This is just hard coded in our HTML. It's not. It's just something we made it up. So right now we're going to use the data I provided inside the assignment description, those websites. We are going to generate those websites or pretend all this information are from the server, from the database, and we're going to render this websites list out from the data. All right. So let's firstly we're going to put this data inside app.js. And again, we'll pretend this data is from the database we grabbed. Right? So right now we haven't thought about anything about database or about server, so we just pretend this is from the server. Right? We're going to talk about that more next week. Copy about website, copy this array, and I'm going to put that into the app.js. Right? So it's basically the same thing as in the users array, right? So we're going to put it right after the users array, put it here. Constant websites and set websites is equal to just paste this array in here. Right. Websites is equal to this array of websites. It's just made up for testing. So we'll assume this array is coming from the server. Right, save it. Right, so each website has ID, ID is a unique number, and it has a name. So what is the name for this website? And the developer ID refers to a developer's ID, so we know who refers to a user's ID, so we know who created it, who is the developer for this website, and it has a short description. Right, that's a list inside app.js. What? With user ID? What? You mean the developer ID? well, the order doesn't matter. It's just an object, so you can. It's just different properties inside it. So you can have ID name developer ID or ID developer ID name. It's order of the item inside the object doesn't matter. But each developer ID here is going to match one of the user's ID here. Right, so like a developer ID 456. That means the developer for this website is Shiyu. The developer ID is 123. That means this website is created by Alice. All right, so this is what it means like by reference to a user. Spell what? What? Yeah, sure. This is just a array copied from assignment description inside here. Right, this array. Just copy that and paste it here. All right. So just say constant websites, set websites, and equal to this array copied from the assignment description.
Shield.
Yes?
I noticed we have more constants for for the websites than we have users. Should we create more users or just
More you mean the more data here? No, don't need to. Those just for testing. That's good enough.
okay.
You don't have to add any more. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so right now I have an array of websites. Let's sending this to the website list component. So the website list component can access this array of websites. It knows like which websites are for them. Right, so let me see here. So here we have the websites list. We go into rewrite this route like the previous ones. All right, so make it a little bit different. We're not gonna say component equal to websites. Do that, and make it has an open tag and a closing tag for route. Right, open tag and closing tag, and put the website list in between. Right, put the website list in between. Put the website list in between, and here we can see websites is equals to the websites. So sending all the websites to the to the website list. Right, so the website list page can access the whole array of websites. Actually, wait, let me see. Yeah, we don't need the whole array of websites. We just need the websites for the current user. So, for example, if I'm logging as Alice, I only need to see the websites created by Alice, which is this one. Right, divided by 1, 2, 3. Oh, and this one too. Oh, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3 here. If I log in as Shiyu, I should only see the first 3 here. And if I log in as Bob, which has a developer ID 2, 3, 4, I should only need the last websites here. So I actually don't need all the websites here. I just need the websites created by the current user. Yeah, we're gonna change this a little bit. let me see. So where is that? The website is websites. Now we're gonna create a function called get websites, and we'll only get the websites if needed. Instead of sending all of them, we're just sending the websites belongs to the current user. Right. So instead of saying websites equals websites, we need to we're gonna create a function. Let's get websites equals to get websites. Right, this is a function. It's going to give me an error says this is not defined, so we're going to define the function here. It's called get websites. I'm going to put it here. Get websites by user ID. Right, get all the websites created by the current user. So say constant get websites is equal to a function, takes a UID and returns us a equals to takes a UID and gives us an array of websites. All right. I think we can do it this way. Okay, so right, so first way to do it, we're going to using a loop checking each website. If its UID is equals to this, if its ID equal to this UID we're looking for, we just keep it. So we'll say constant current websites. I just say cur webs is equal to an empty array. For the website, for each website inside this websites array, right? So websites array is an array here. Right? This is our websites array websites. For each website inside the websites array, we check if the website .id underscore ID, not underscore ID, it's a .developer ID, right? It's just if this website developer ID is equals to this UID we give it, right, equal to this UID we pass it in, then we send it add it to the cur webs.push this website, and finally we return this cur webs. It's more like a it's more like the solution we deal with before. This should be missing a let. Right, so returns a list of websites belongs to this UID. Right, that's list of websites belongs to this UID. Right, it's right. So we send this method, this function, into the website list. So website list can call this function. And let's see. I think this function can return us the list of websites we need. Let's try it out here. All right. So to access that function, we need in the website list here we need to pass in the params. Not params. Sorry, properties. Props. Right. All the property. So we can grab the function from the props. When we send something from the parent from another component, right, we send this function from app.js to website list. This function is sent inside this props in the properties. Right, we want to call this function, so I'm going to pass in the use effect here. Use effect when the page loaded and call this function. Right, so use effect. I'm gonna call this function, and when the page loaded, right, empty array. So we're gonna call this function, which is, let's try to console.log it. Let's make sure we're getting the websites we want. Console.log the props.get websites, right? This is from the parents websites from the app.js, and takes the UID, which is params.uid. Params.uid. Right, let me take a look on that, make sure that works correct. Websites is not iterable. What? Websites is not iterable? Websites is a list of array. Let me see. Did I have some typo here? No. Websites is not iterable. Let me see. Let me just comment it out for now. And the console.log websites. It's not working. Websites is not iterable. Let me see. There is array of 0 item. App.js 94. It confused me. Let me see. Websites. Oh. I put it wrong here. It cannot be just the array. It's going to be use state, right? Use state, like this one. Use state. I forgot to use state here. So use state. I forgot to use state for the website. Sorry. Okay, now it should work. Let me see it. Yeah, now I have an array of 7 items. That makes sense. Right, so I can comment this back and get rid of this console log.
So use state should be used where?
Inside here. The constant websites is equal to the use state, right? So it's we'll create a state. Remember the difference between the state and the regular variable is the array is going to take a look on that. When that changes, it's going to render your application. All right, so inside the website list, we console log out the get websites. And get websites according to the current UID here. So let's see what it does is console log it out. All right, so it's console log out a list of 3 items. Right, so see the 3 websites they all have developer ID 1, 2, 3, which is Go, Tic-Tac-Toe, and Checkers. Those 3 websites are belongs to the Alice. That have the same UID, developer ID 1, 2, 3, developer ID 1, 2, 3. Right, so it's just do the function we'll give it here. Right, it's gonna run this function here to check if the website UI developer ID is equal to the UID in our parameters. in our URL path. I hope that makes sense. So we're getting the websites for the current user. Getting websites for the current user. All right. So let's keep going here. All right. In the website list, we need a place to store this list of array here. When you store this list of array. Right, so we are going to firstly adding the dependencies here. So when actually it's create we need to first bring the use state here. Right, we need to place store this the current websites. Right, so we're gonna create a state called websites. Right, this is gonna be websites inside the website list page, not going to be the state in the app.js. They just have share the same name, but different websites array. Use state. Right, start with empty array. And inside here, we're going to set websites equals to the one we returned from the app.js. And also this, I'm getting a warning says the React hook has some missing dependencies. Let's adding them. So this one, the first one is params the UID. So I'm going to paste this one in. And the props. Right, so when there's two changes, we're going to rerun this function. Right, use effect going to be run when the page loaded, and save the websites inside the websites state. Right, inside the website state in the website list component. Right, so we have a websites array inside the website list right now, and next day we're going to render this out in the page. And they import it at top.
Right, even after, well, I just did that just now, but it's not saved. Well, it still says that.
Actually, it's a same file. Website list, use states.
Ah.
Right, so we have a array of websites, and now we are going to replace this old array, this fake websites into the real ones from the data. Right, so we have some address book, app, blogger. Those are the fake ones. We're going to replace this one with the current data we have. Right, so let's go down a little bit here. Right, so this item here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to delete them. Just going to delete just leave one here. Right, so leave the first one. This item, link, I link. This first one. Right, so the first one, address book app. So we're going to use this template here to do it. Just comment this out for now. Yeah, I'm just going to using the code of it. All right, so again, so we have the JavaScript array, and we need to using a loop here to show the list inside the page. So we're gonna have a websites, the map, right? So it's just like the same thing we did in the bookmarker, right? So it's gonna map through these websites. For each website we have inside these websites, we are going to render a list item. Right, so for each website we have inside it, we're going to render a list item. Right, I'm going to put it different lines, making it more readable, like that. So Prettier going to do it for me. Right, so each list item going to just look like this one here. Right, so this item has class name, list group, item. Right, it has a link, just exactly the same thing as the one we have here. Just we're gonna change a few things here. Link as so the link won't show the address book app. It's gonna show the current website name. So it's gonna be a curly brace here, and the website dot name. I show current website name. And when I click it, it's going to go to the corresponding page page list, right? So it's going to grab. So it's going to be a similar link, but with some parameters inside it. So it's going to be to curly brace backticks, right? Slash user slash the UID. UID going to be developer ID, right? So it's going to be website dot developer ID. And after that, slash website slash the WID. WID is a website ID, so it's going to be $website _ ID. Right, this is a website ID and slash page. Right, that's our first link. Right, first link transfers to that, and we have the second link, which is a cog button. So let's add a link right after it, which is a cog button. Right, so this one, the same thing. It's still going to have the icon cogs. Just copy that icon, the cogs, and it's going to have a class name, the same class name, float, right? To same thing. We're going to use the backticks here to put some variables inside it. Right. Slash user slash the user's ID $, which is website.developer's ID. Right, and then slash website slash website IDs, WID. So it's going to be website._ID, which is a current website ID. Right, so then we don't need this anymore. It's just a template there we use to make this. And it should show you the correct website list here, right? Go tic-tac-toe and checkers. This is the website belongs to the Alice, right? So give it some time to try it. That's it. Just the list, right? From the UL to UL. That's all we have here.
So on my line 30,
930, yeah.
I think I have everything down the same way you do, but it's saying there's a parsing error, unexpected. My computer's
Two equal.
Mm-hmm.
930 is the equal sign.
And then other than that, it's just this one because it's in the app.
Websites is not defined. This is all it is a network side websites. This is a syntax of system follow. Websites login. Yeah. This should be websites. It's an array of websites. Go down to the okay. Current web. This is current distributed. Either change the current web or change the current web career. Let's make sure it's the same thing. No, this one don't change this one. This one this is just a pass just using the placeholder.
Okay.
Yeah, don't change this one into the params or your ID because we don't have that here. So this you can see is when the pass equal to /user /such ID here, and then we know that's a user ID.
Okay.
Yeah, you can change it back to the regular string because we're only using the added parameters inside. All right, so let's keep going. So now you should see the websites for the current user. These are the 3 websites for the Alice. If I log out, log in as Shiyu, I should see Shiyu's website. Shiyu, username, password are both Shiyu. I should see the Shiyu's website here: Facebook, Twitter, and mSymbo. Right, it's always going to show you current users' websites. I can log into also to the Bob, and the password is also Bob. It has one website here. Right, it's always going to show you the current users' websites. Alright, so let's go back to the Alice. Alice is a good example here. Actually, we can log in as actually, Alice is fine. Alright, so we have 3 websites: Go, Tic-Tac-Toe, and Checkers. And we actually have an error here. It says each child in a list should have a unique key props. And this is in the list item at website list line 29, which is just this list item here. It's asking us to have because we're using a map to map a list of AI here, so we need also to give it a key. It's just something required by the React. So we need to add a key attribute that can just equals to the website .id, because it can be equal to anything that's unique. A website ID is something unique, right? So each website can have a different ID, so you can just use that one as a key. And you're going to solve the errors you had there. I solve the errors you had there. I solve the web is so the error. Going to remove that errors we have there. Key equal to website.id. Right. Okay, so we have the list really showing in the page, right? Let me see. So the list showing in the page, and when you click on the name, it should go to the see the ID here should be still correct. Go to the page list, and click on the cog. It's go to the page edit with the correct ID inside the URL. You shouldn't see anything like a UID or PID inside or WID inside the real path, right? The real URL path here. I should always show you the ID of the thing you clicked. When you click on different things, it's give you a different ID. Right, so this one has a website ID 890, and the second one has a website ID 567. Right, you should have the real ID inside it. So that's everything about the website list. Basically, display the current website, all the websites the current user created. And next thing we're going to fix is website new. First, we're going to fix this button. So right now, when you click it, it's going to show the /UID here. The UID is going to be the real ID of the current user's ID. This plus button here. All right, so let's go to the website list. Here, we have a UID. We're going to change this one into a backtick string. Right, backtick string. And the UID here should be the params.uid. Alright, so now it's gonna replace the UID into the real user's ID here. When click plus, it's go to the 123 website new. Alright, it gives us the real user's ID there. Alright, so that's the last thing we need to change in the website list. And next one, we're going to go to website new to fix the website new page. Alright, so that's everything we did for the website list. We fixed those buttons, right? The left button, the plus button, and the user icon. And then we're getting the correct website list from the app.js for the current user, right? For the current user. Next thing, let's go to the website new. Right. Website new page. And we are going to do the same thing for the list on the left. Right, still it's gonna show the same list like the website list. And also we will need to fix those buttons, the left button, the plus button, the check button, and the user icon. And last thing is we're gonna make this form works. Make it really works, allows you to ending this website by adding a new website by entering information here. Right, enter information, click check, it's gonna create a real website for us. And showing in the list. Alright. So let's go to the code to working on this one. Website new. Website new. Alright, so again, we are going to grab the use params and see the constant parameters equal to the use params. Right, this allows us to grab the the parameters from the top link, right, from the link on top. Right. Let me just put this on here. It's really easier. Right, grab it. And after we have the links, we can use this parameters to fix what we're using here. Let's see, the first one, the left icon, UID here, going to be changed into the backticks with a real ID here. This left icon here. All right, UID $sign params dot UID. Right, and then the plus icon, we can also do the same thing, backticks. And this is params.uid. Alright, so it's plus icon. Let's keep going. The list inside here, we have a chevron left. The right navbar, we have chevron left. This one, same thing. It's a go back button, so we can also change this to the backticks with the correct UID. $sign params.uid. Alright, same thing, exactly same. And the check button here, so we are going to leave this one here for now. Later we're going to change this one into a button to do some real work. Right now it's just go back to the website list. This check button should submit our current form, right? Instead of going back to the website list, we should submit the form. Right, we're gonna leave that there for a second. Right, going to the bottom, there is a last one we need to change. Is our this one, the user icon, right? So it's to the backticks, and the UID, params.uid. That's the last one here. Okay, and again, we're going to repeat what we did for the list to show the list on left. All right, so it's going to be the same process, exactly the same. So we're going to firstly go to the app.js. All right, so app.js, and rewrite this route into this format. All right, so component equal to website new, going to be a route with open tag, close tag, and website new, pass in the same function, which is get websites. Let's get the websites from the. It's going to be exactly the same, right? So like the last one. Last one is website list. This one is website new. We're going to pass in the same function. Okay. So let's go back to website new to use this function. Alright, so it's going to be the same, exactly same thing. You can copy it from website list. So first thing we're gonna grab is the use state and use effect. Alright, two things: use state and use effect. And I'm gonna create constant websites and set websites. Is equals to the use state empty array, right? Empty array. And don't forget to add in the props as an input. Right. Then we are going to using the same function here, right? Websites. This use effect is going to be exactly the same. We can just copy that. It's the same use effect. Websites list and website new. Same thing. All right. So, and again, you can rewrite the left link, right? So this URL into the exact same code like this one here, right? It's the same map here. I'm just gonna delete the AI here, right? The AI here in the URL, and let's go ahead and copy the ones we just did in the website list, right? So this URL from the curly brace to the curly brace, right, inside the URL. It's the same thing. Copy that, paste it inside here. Right, it's the same thing. Do it again? Yeah, sure. So website new, right? So this is what we used to have inside the left list. I have the AI, right? So the same AIs. Delete that, clear it up. Just leave an empty URL here. Empty URL. And in the website list, we're gonna find the same URL inside it. I'm gonna copy the content inside it to put that inside website new. It's the same thing. Right, so the same list. Paste it inside here. After you do that, you should see your list on the left showing the same list like the website list. Right, so those two lists should be the same. Right, take some time to try it. Sure. Props. Yeah, you can add your props inside here as an input. Yeah, if you see it's like props is identified, you just see it from that. Use effect. It's a use effect also copied from the old one. So it's a props that get websites. Remember websites is a function from app.js. So when we call it, we're gonna call props that get websites. And the UID, this params the UID. It means we want to get in the UID from the parameters, which is this UID from the URL path here. Right. When you want to get something from the URL path, it's called from params. Okay, so the list is working right now, and we shouldn't see any error here. Yeah, I have some warning, but we're gonna fix them. But there's no error inside it. All right, so it's just the same thing like the website list. And now we can working on the the form on the right side. Right, the form on the right side. So the form on the right side, it's like the register new user. Right? When we register a new user, we're going to create a new user and add that to the users array. When we create a new website, it's just so similar like to the create a new user. We create a new website, and that's the website into the array. Right? So we're gonna catch what the user input here, and when the user submits a form, we just save the data into our array. Right? So let's try it out. So again, we need to catch user input. So we will need two states. So we're going to have constant name, set name equals to the user state. Right? Let's catch the website name. And we have description, constant description, and the set description equals to the use state, not user state, use state. Not an empty array, sorry, it should be empty string, right? This is the default value for it. It's going to start with empty string. Right, so two variables. We want to connect the variable with the input. So it's looking for the input. Looking for the input. Here we go. It's the first one. It's for the name, right? So we're not gonna using ID anymore. We don't need the ID. So we have type, we have placeholder, and we have value is equal to the name, and onChange is going to equal to the function e, and set name e dot target dot value. Right, same thing for the description. Right, so we're not gonna have default value, just value equals to description, and onChange is equal to e set description e dot target dot value. Alright, same thing. Value and onChange. Let me try it out, make sure that works. Yeah, I can enter stuff. Yep, that works.
We could take out the default value, that's what that was, right?
Yeah, you don't need default value. You can just use the value. Get rid of the default value. All right, so the two variables are binding with input right now. So make sure you can still enter stuff, right? Make sure you can still enter stuff. That means it works. So now we're gonna working for the submit. When I click the check button, I want to submit the form. All right. So where is my form? It's right here. Form tag. I'm gonna have on submit. All right. So on submit. When I submit the form, I want to call a function called submit. It's going to give me error right now because I don't have this function. On submit equals submit. I'm going to go ahead and create this function at right before the return here. Submit.
Submit was a curly braces, right?
Curly brace. Yes, yes. Every time we try to refer to some JavaScript function or JavaScript variable is going to be the curly brace. Submit is equal to function. Forgot the constant. Constant. Submit is equal to function. And we can just see console.log 1, 2, 3 here. Right, so when I submit stuff, I want to console.log 1, 2, 3, just for testing. Right. And to make the button works, right, so I'm gonna give this form an ID here. I give a form this ID here. This is my website form. Just give it an ID. Right, so inside the navbar, inside navbar, remember we used to have a right nav. We have a check button. Right, see if you can find it. In the right navbar, we have a check button. This button, when I click, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to delete it. So when I click it, it's basically just this check button. When I click it, it should submit the form. Right. So we're gonna, instead of have a link, we're gonna change it to button because I want to use this button to submit the form. Remove the 2 here. And it says form equals to website form. So it knows like when I click it, it submits this form. You will need it. You will need the form attribute when the button is not in the form. Right, so it knows which form to submit. This button is not in the form. Form is it's down at the bottom, right, down here, and the button is inside here. So when I click the button, it's going to submit the form. And now let's try it out. So when I click on the button, it should console.log 1, 2, 3 for me. So I have 1, 2, 3 here. See that? It's just very quick because I don't have prevent default, so it's just refreshing my page every time. But it does shows 1, 2, 3 when I click it. So let me try adding the prevent default. Right, adding E as input and prevent default. So it won't refresh a page by itself. Right, so when I click it, it's just gonna show the 1, 2, 3 here. Right, shows 1, 2, 3 there. Right, 1, 2, 3. And you can see the check button here. The button has some default style, so it change how the button looks like. Just make it looks bad. So to fix that, you can just easily go to the button and adding a class to it, adding the BTN class to it. I think it's gonna fix it. Yeah, the BTN gonna remove the background. Right, so it's now a check button fixed. Just adding the BTN class to it.
Can you back to line 78?
78. The form on submit and have ID. Yeah. So the ID equal to web form, and the button will have a form equal to web form. These two match together.
Okay.
I'm sorry, where is that?
Where do you get the ID website form?
Website form. It's just something I made up.
Ah.
You just call it like a my form or the form 1, form 2. It's just a name I made up. Right, so website form. It's called website form because that's a website form. And just make sure the ID equal to website form matches with the button form equal to website form here. Right, it's just the way you connect this button there to the form. Right, make sure the ID and form are equal together.
And then on line 17,
Line 17,
E prevent default and the
either prevent default.
default.
It's just a yeah, not just ask the website. Please do not refresh the browser. I don't want it. Right, it's the same thing like when we register the user. If you check that out, it just should be a same process. Right. Right. So now we can think about when the form is submitted. What do we want to do here? Right. So firstly, we're going to create a new website, new a constant, a new web. It's our new website. So it's going to equal to object has ID. Right, we need to import the UUID. Right, UUID is a one generated ID for us. Import UUID from UUID. I misspelled import. Right, it's going to generate a new ID for us. When new web ID equal to the UUID.v4. Right, just using the version 4 to generate a random ID for this website. And what else a website should have? It's checking the one in AppJS. It should have a name. Right, the name description. So the name is from the name. Right, we have the variable name. Name equal to the name inside this function. And we have the description. Right, also the description variable from the same component, same function. And the developer ID is equal to the current developer. So it's going to be the programs UID, right? Current developer. I think that's everything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four properties. That's our new website. It has the random new ID and have the name user input and description user input and the current user's ID. Get websites. Did you? AppJS. Get a website is right here. We created this function. Yeah, it's a get the website function. It says one to getting the websites array. Okay, since we're going here, we also are going to add a new function called add new website. Right. The AppJS. just like this one, we have the add a new user. We also need to add a new website. So it's going to be the exactly same code, but this time we're doing it for the website, not for the users. Right? So it's going to be same thing. Constant add website takes a new web and add it to the website's array. So it's going to be set websites equals to the old websites array and plus the new web at the end. It's the same code. Just this time we're working for the websites, not the user. All right. So also when you pass in this function, the add website function, to the website new, right? So say add website equals to the add website. Pass in this function inside it, so we can use this function inside the website new component, add website. All right. So in the website new, right? Once we submit the form, we are going to call the props the and website and in this new web. I take it this new web. And then once we add it, we want to navigate it back to the website list. Right, so we need to import the use history. Use history from the React router DOM. Right, same thing like the URL params. I'm going to put it right here. Constant history equal to the use history here. Right, same thing. And we're going to say history. Right, so we're going to say once we add it, we're going to do the history the push. Let's go back to the website list. So it's going to push to slash user slash the UID. So it's going to be user params the UID slash the website. Right, since I go back to the website page. Every time when you push something into history, it's going to navigate you to that page. Where did we add the websites? Adding to the component you want to use. We want it to use it in the website new, so we add it to the website new. All right, so now we can try it out. So yeah, I don't get any error. Let's try it out. So on any new website called what website? I want to make my resume website. Resume web, just any name you like. Description, resume website to show my resume. Check here. See, where resume web is added. And if I go to new web, it shows also on the right. I can keep ending. I want to create a blog. Right, test blog website. Click check. It's any new one to me. Right, see the blog is added. It's only added to Alice. If I log out to some other users, others cannot see it. So for example, if I log in as Shiyu won't see it. Right, so it's only still have Facebook, Twitter, and M symbol. It's only showing for the to the user who created it. Right, Shiyu can add in Urban League website. ULM website. Check. That's added here. Right, so once you refresh page, it's gonna be gone. Right, because the website is not stored in database. Just temporarily added here. Once every time when you refresh page, it's gone. It's just how it is working right now. Later we're gonna fix this issue by connecting to the server to a database. Right. So there is one more. That's it for the website new, and there is one more page left, which is website edit, and we're gonna working on that after the break. So we're gonna have a 10 minutes break first, and I'm gonna upload the current code and the videos to the YouTube, and you will be able to check it. So let me upload the code there. So if you are still not able to finish that, you have some chance to catch up. Git add dot, git commit. Website new and list. I push. So I push it to GitHub, so you should be able to check the code over there. And yeah, I'm also gonna upload the videos.